Don't say nothing. We got a big show. We got 5 fights to cover in one segment, and I believe we can do it. I can believe we can cover 5 fights in one segment. I'm glad you're quiet. This is the smartest you've sounded. We're gonna get this thing taken care of. Then we got to go to UFC, and then we got wrestling to cover. We got a big show, a huge show, a huge show. All this stuff happened this weekend, starting Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is when we bring it all together. So, what you got to say? It can stay in the 30s. I'm good with it. 20s, 30s. I'm good with it.
I mean, when you got that natural insulation, bro, it's cool. I get it. So
No,
me,
real men come from the north, so we can deal with.
Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. That sums it all up.
We can deal with the cold.
I'm saying these names not because they're essentially the best fighters out there, which we can make a case for Shakur Stevenson, definitely. They just look that much better than whoever they fight.
I think he might want to keep this thing on the feet and stay any way possible. Stay away from that guillotine choke. He was squeezing Buddy's face in the last fight and put him out.
Come on, dog. Let's fight.
Welcome to the Fighter Share Report.
Hey, we got a big. You in witness protection, bro? Because it's kind of dark over there.
Yeah, it's the great outdoors, man. It's kind of where we at.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Somebody shine a light on that man's face. Look, NCAA Championships happened this weekend over several days. It was carried live on TV. It was amazing. Amazing. And one thing I liked about this year, it showed how important 3rd and 4th place was. A lot of people kind of dismiss the consolation finals because it's like, it's not for the championship. Well, the University of Iowa would disagree. They were able to stave off my Penn State Nittany Lions and hold on and win the NCAA Team Wrestling Championship because of the consolation finals, because Penn State came back roaring in the finals and got about 5 national champions this year. But because of the consolation finals, Iowa was able to keep their lead and hold on, and they had a total of 129 points to Penn State's 113.5 points. So congratulations to the University of Iowa Hawkeyes, no stranger to the team national championship. And quickly as we go through this, looking at the time, we got a lot to cover. Let's go through Session 7 results. And these were the finals for the NCAA Championships. At 133 pounds, actually we had Roman Brown Young of Penn State winning, defeating Oklahoma State's Dayton Fix. We're not going to give all the names, but that 141 pounds, another number 2 Nick Lee from Penn State won the national championship. At 149 pounds, number 2 Austin O'Connor from North Carolina won the national championship.
Okay.
At 157 pounds, number 3 David Carr from Iowa State Cyclones won the national championship. At 165 pounds, number 8 Shane Griffith from Stanford, the Cardinals showing up big, defeating Pittsburgh. Jake Wessel won the national championship. At 174 pounds, number 3 Carter Starocci from Penn State got their 3rd national championship. At 184 pounds, number 1 Aaron Brooks from Penn State got their 4th national championship of the year. And at 197 pounds, number 4 AJ Ferrari, This guy's pretty awesome. He's a freshman from Oklahoma State. Got a national championship. And at 285 pounds, number 1, Gable Stevenson from Minnesota defeated number 2, Mason Paris of Michigan for a national championship. And then at 125 pounds, number 1, Spencer Lee from Iowa helped them hold on to win the national champ. He won the national championship and helped them hold on to get the team title. So it was a fabulous weekend of college wrestling. I was bouncing back and forth, but on Friday night, I was watching a fight and watching the national championships, the semifinals, and it was an incredible round. It was just, and then Saturday
just to throw a little excitement into this topic, because you just completely drowned us out for 3 minutes talking about collegiate wrestling, bro. The question is, how many of these great wrestlers do you see possibly taking their talents to the UFC or the Bellator?
Stevenson, the heavyweight from Minnesota, would definitely be, because of his agility. He would definitely be a good candidate. Any of them, really. But definitely Stevenson, just the way he moves, and he's just that good. I think he's undefeated for like 3 years.
How surprised were you that North Carolina snuck into the medal? Because you talked about this on another episode. You said that you felt like some of these other schools will start picking up some talent.
Well, the funny thing is, wrapping this up, I wasn't as surprised, because you've had a lot of good talent in the Carolinas that over the decades have been pushed towards football and basketball, but they've been strong in wrestling, just not powerhouses.
Gotcha.
All right, so we had a UFC fight night, Vegas 22 recap. Anything surprise you on this one, bro, before we get into the results?
Nah, not really, but I would like to say this, man. You know what? Go ahead and get into the results. I think we know we're going to end up talking about the culmination of this segment, so go right ahead.
Tai Tuivasa defeated Harry Hunsucker. You got to be able to fight with that name. First round TKO, 49 seconds. And then Adrian Yanez defeated Gustavo Lopez. Again, third round KO, this time 27 seconds. And I'm watching these fights going, wow. Montserrat Ruiz defeated Cheyenne Baez. That one kind of surprised me a little bit. Decision, 29-28 by 2 judges, 29-27 by the third. Max Griffin.
That was a very close fight.
It was.
Sparky is what they need to call Max.
Yeah, he defeated Spark. Yeah, beat Kanan Song. That fight shocked the crap out of him.
He put them cables on that boy, didn't he?
220 of the first round. That fight shocked.
Well, bro. And listen, the funny part about it was Max was getting pieced up, though.
Yeah.
That jab, he got hit with a jab twice, and I was like, whoa. Like, you don't need to run in there no more. And I guess Max was like, no, I'm going to run right back up in there. That's what he did. And, okay.
Woof, that one was good. I was sitting there watching it going, this could have been the main event.
Yeah, listen, the UFC, one thing you said, bro, you've kind of put this in the back of my mind, right? So every time I see a fighter from Mexico, Brazil, or China, I'm automatically thinking about, okay, who are the guys or the women that they already have over there? Who are their stars, and how can UFC stand to make a lot of money? Because you're starting to see more and more of an influx of fighters, and particularly from those regions, especially Mexico and Brazil, bro. It's almost like they starting a farm league or something, man. It's crazy.
Well, Brazil has always been their feeder system. They started the UFC really to build Brazilian jiu-jitsu up in this country. That's a fact.
Right, correct. Mm-hmm.
And then they never thought they would get the influx of Mexicans because of the lineage of boxing. But you need the money from China. China spends money like crazy. They promote their athletes. They may have a horrible farm system over there, but they're going to find the 2 or 3 best, and they're going to build them up and let them beat the crap out of everybody over there before they send them over here. And right now you're seeing the best of the best come over in Bellator and in the UFC. And I can't wait, because Zhang Weili fights soon against Rose Namajunas. Yeah. I know we're going to get into that.
Yeah.
But let's get into this main event.
Yeah.
Because I was shocked.
Or not.
I was shocked.
Okay.
I was
right,
so
let's talk about it.
disappointed. That's what I mean by shocked. I was disappointed. Shout out to Derek Brunson for defeating Mighty Mouth, Kevin Holland, 49-45 by one judge, or 49-46 by the other two.
So here's the thing. I don't think I was surprised. I think we got the decision that we probably should have won it. I mean, let's be clear, right? We both agreed that before the fight, we said we were going to learn a lot more about Kevin Holland than we would about Derek Brunson, because Brunson's been there before. And guess what? We did. There's levels to this, and as good as Kevin Holland is, and as explosive as as we've seen him be in the last few fights, it's levels. And there's a reason why Derek Brunson has been kind of like middling around this division, right kind of in the middle, not quite the upper echelon, but right there because of what we saw yesterday, bro. He is an accomplished wrestler. He's been down at Stanford MMA, training with Usman, training with Gilbert Burns, being a part of the whole South Florida system down there. He's getting great work, and he wasn't getting when he was in North Carolina. Bro, it's levels, and he proved it. Holland, we didn't learn anything from this fight from Kevin Holland. He talks too much, but guess what? He's going back to the drawing board, and we'll see him again.
He really has to find out what he wants to be. Do you want to be a caricature, or do you want to be a fighter? Period. Because you made yourself look like a complete idiot from bell to bell. Mm-hmm. You made yourself look like a complete idiot. And I was embarrassed for you because you're not smart enough to be embarrassed for yourself. I mean, Derek Brunson didn't do anything. The only thing that could have happened to change the outcome of this fight is if Brunson would have stopped him. Derek Brunson didn't do anything spectacular. He just laid on you and posed you, and you talked yourself into stupidity. All right, we had a huge night of boxing. Huge.
You are so disrespectful. You are so disrespectful to the old people that watch this show that love boxing.
Listen, we ain't got time for this.
5 minutes. You are a terrible friend.
We ain't got time for this.
And hosting the show.
Go ahead. Fire me. We got from Thursday night was probably the best fight I've seen. Thursday night was the best fight I've seen, where Angel Fierro beat Alberto Machado. Fierro went down in the first round. Fierro went down in the second round. Fierro got his stuff handed to him in the third round. Then all of a sudden, Machado forgot he was in a fight. Fierro came back in the fourth round, in the fifth round, and then knocked him out. And it's home. And knocked him out.
And we had talked about this, bro. We had talked about this earlier. I said there was a concern for Machado, bro. I feel like he was the goods, but I said it before. He doesn't use his lift, and sometimes he gets in these firefights, and that's what it was.
And look, Friday night, Lee McGregor stops Kareem Murphy, the Frenchman, stops him. I think the second round? It might have been the sixth.
I don't know. I didn't see the results of that fight.
But he stops him. So shout out to Lee McGregor for winning the European welterweight title. Looks like they're going to keep pushing him till he can get a shot against one of them 147 guys over here, which is going to be interesting.
Yeah, he'll wait in line. He ain't on that level yet, so he'll wait.
Well, I mean, he won that secondary title, and it commands a lot of money over there, which translates into fights over here eventually. Well,
and a mandatory. So yeah.
Yeah. And then Saturday was just full of fights, bro. Artur Beterbiev. That was the one that was he destroyed Adam. He hit him with a body shot, and Adam went down on his gloves, then his knee, and then his corner threw in the towel, and the ref saved him from himself. So it was it was one of those.
No, they ain't saved from himself. They saved him from Beterbiev. That's what they saved him from
himself, because he said he could continue.
Yeah, no. That dude is, look, we gonna talk about him a little later on, but no surprises there. What else we got?
Lawrence Okolie stopped
cruiserweight
Milwaukee. Yes, stopped him to win the WBO.
What we talked about. Yep, and we talked about this on last week as well, bro. We knew he was the prospect. He was the guy. Listen, they like him over in the UK, bro, and apparently he's the goods.
Listen, he was winning.
I'm not going to say this was a surprise, but the early It's early as it was. I was surprised about that.
Yeah, round 6. He was winning all 5 rounds up to that point. So, yeah, shout out to Lawrence Okoli, man. A shout out to him. Britain will claim him, but he's African.
They all are.
That's just how it goes. Hey, shout out to your boy Virgil Ortiz. For stopping Maurice Hooker.
Did he though? I mean, listen, it was a good fight while it lasted. I don't listen. Maurice Hooker is one thing we can't question him, right? It didn't look good, but we can't question Maurice Hooker. This guy's been in big time fights before. He's been around. He's a vet in the game. But very big win for Virgil Ortiz. And like I said, and we both agreed too, we learned more about Virgil Ortiz in this fight than we did about Maurice Hooker. Ortiz appears to be the goods. He still needs a lot of work, man. Like, as great as a puncher he is, when you start talking about Crawford and Smith, bro, I don't know about any of that right now. But you rush him in there and you could burn the whole farm, bro. I don't think that they need to be in a rush to make these fights happen. Any of these guys in the top 4 or 5, honestly, bro, I don't see it. Okay? There are a lot of other good fights that Virgil Ortiz can make. I advise that Golden Boy keeps him trending in that direction, because that win last night didn't really convince me. What about you?
No. And then again, we don't know if Hooker had a damaged right hand or not. If that led to the decision. Yeah. So yeah.
And his post ring interview didn't help. So
no, not at all. For some reason, I want to say shout out to the Black Beast. I don't know why. All right, your 2 minutes.
Yeah, man, it's my time, man. Look, and I had nothing prepared for today because look at where I am, right? So my background's blurry. I don't have no lights. I don't look nearly as good as my co-host, and it's a delay. I don't even know if y'all can hear me speaking right now, but I will say this. Last night was great for combat sports because although the fights might not have been great, we got some hella fire post-fight interviews, and I think we'll kind of sustain things until we get to the big fight next week. Bro, Maurice Hooker, bro, and Kevin Holland, where they didn't show up in the fights, bro, these two gentlemen had some antics this weekend, bro, that just makes you scratch your head. Now, Maurice Hooker, like, did you really need to say that, bro? Like, you lost. However it looked, whatever it was, you got paid good. Go home. But to tell the fans, and I can't really repeat it on the show because it's not,
Go
funny,
ahead.
But bro,
go ahead.
Nah, I ain't even. It's a Sunday. My mom might be watching. I'm not doing it. But bro, go watch the interview, man. Hooker is. We all know a guy like Maurice Hooker, bro. I just hope that going forward, he can continue to get some more fights. But that was just not a good moment for him. And last night, look, I'm a big Kevin Holland fan, and I still am. This was not a good showing for him because he just got bugged and pinned and just grinded out for 5 minutes. What I will say is this, though. I am all for fighters taking the bull by the horns. We want fighters to be aggressive in fights. We want to make the best business decisions if it means trusting yourself and your ability to market and sell yourself. And when we want that for fighters, sometimes we get this. Everybody's not going to be Muhammad Ali. Everybody's not going to be Sugar Ray Leonard. Everybody going to be Canelo. Sometimes you're going to get Derek. Sometimes you're going to get Kevin Holland, and you're going to get Mighty Maurice Hookers. And that's just a part of the fight game. So that's my 2 minutes.
Wow. Listen, last night, the NCAA wrestling showed up big. It showed up big. You didn't have a lot of COVID issues throughout the whole tournament. Now, you're talking about, dozens of kids in every division. No COVID issues. Even in NCAA basketball, Virginia Commonwealth has to bow out after their first game because COVID. I mean, you start seeing some organizations that are doing it right. For them to be able to complete an entire wrestling season is amazing. In this pandemic is amazing. For them to be able to complete the conference championships is amazing in this pandemic. And you start asking yourself, how are you able to do it? Well, when you look at sports like wrestling, they're close-knit anyway, and a lot of them just put themselves in a bubble because it means that much to them. and they grind it out all season in tournaments and dual meets and quad meets. And in that situation, you're like, okay, I don't want anything to cost me a chance at a national championship. When I look at the NCAA Wrestling Championships last night, it was phenomenal to me. It was really phenomenal, and it's why I fell in love with the sport in the first place. I never thought growing up that any sport would take more love from me than football, but wrestling was probably my favorite sport. I loved playing football, but wrestling, it shows the mettle of a man because you don't have 10 other guys out there to support you or cover up your mistakes. It's just you and your opponent. Congratulations. Bro, we came to the end of another show. This flew by. It flew by. Good morning, Samantha Clark. It flew by.
Hey man, sometimes we just as good as we think we are, and then you get good shows like this, bro. Well, yeah, that's yet to be seen. Listen, bro, these guys are wild. But listen, what is going on with Jamal Charlo, bro? We were just giving him props for saying he wants to fight Benavidez. Then he turns right around and gets on Brian Custer's show and says he plans on staying not only at 160 for a year, but he's not talking trash about Demetrius Andrade. Should we begin to be worried about Charlo, bro? Is he really not wanting the fights that we think or that the public feels like he should be taking right now?
I honestly believe it's more of I'm keeping my irons in both fires. I'm going to keep letting people know at 160 I'm not abandoning them. I know nobody's really publicly coming out saying they want to fight Andrade, so I know I can always get that fight. If something happens in the Benavidez fight and I'm not able to get the money I want or the terms that I want, now I can always go back here. Hey, if you want more in-depth conversation, tune into tomorrow's show at 11 a.m. and we'll be getting more in-depth on the happenings for this weekend, but morely on the big fights coming up next weekend. Shout out to Samantha for chiming in. Thank you very much, Sunshine. Shout out to all of Fighter Share Nation for watching. We hope you really enjoyed this show. Turning it over to my brother to close it out.
Man, you didn't give a shout out to all your people? That's okay, man.
Well, I do. Shout out to my wife, my daughter, my pops, my brother. Shout out to the Lipinski family. I went to a homegoing memorial service yesterday for a friend I had for over 33 years, John Lipinski. You are missed, brother.
Rest up, John. I gotta stop giving you so much time to talk. We'll see y'all Monday. Peace.